In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you a great winter golf range session, 5 simple drills to help you with your iron ball striking and your driver accuracy that will really make a difference. And the best part, these drills will work for anyone. You don't need a new golf swing, just smarter practice. Let's get to the first one. So it's amazing how many bad shots come from a bad setup, and most golfers don't even realize it. The first thing we would say is calibrate your setup. Now, what do we mean by this? Well, first of all, if you go into a driving range, if you can just first of all make sure you're calibrating your body alignment. This is something that most golfers take for granted because they step on a mat and first of all, they often don't pick a target out. First thing I do when I get to a range is like, where's the mat pointing to? I can see this mat is pointing pretty much at that bunker, middle of the bunker here, just in front of me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I'm using my alignment sticks to ensure that I am exactly in the right place. So I've got one here for my alignment, which is going to be my feet, hips and shoulders. And then I've got one here for ball position. Don't take these for granted. I actually went on a golf course yesterday with one of my students and his alignment was consistently right. If you train this on here, you're going to step onto the golf course and it's immediately going to actually transpire onto the golf course so you don't get it wrong. If you don't practice it here, it won't transfer onto the golf course. So that's the first thing I would say. Make sure you calibrate, get the alignment sticks down and get used to looking at the target. You know then if you hit a bad shot, it's down to the golf swing and not your alignment. The second thing I would say is calibrate your posture. Your posture and your balance is going to massively impact how you move. So we do this, both these with Aaron Rai on the PGA Tour every single week. Now, all I'm going to do is place my feet over the alignment stick right through the middle of the arches. So many golfers get this wrong where they're just out of balance. They may have a little too much flex in the legs, the weight's too much behind. That then causes some other swing faults. You may be too much on the toes. Just calibrate your setup. So get yourself in position and just notice where that weight is. We want 50% front and back nicely balanced. When you do this, if you can, some driving ranges have a mirror. Get a mirror behind you or even use live practice in the Me and My Golf app where you can real time see what's going on. Having feedback to not only how it feels, but visual feedback to how it looks. Really important that you can just get familiar with seeing it, feeling it, but do not overlook the importance of your body alignment and your posture. Okay, so the second tip is how we pivot in the backswing. A good pivot motion actually solves so many problems. Here's what I see golfers make the mistake of doing. They get on the range and they're so focused on trying to position the club. Position the club here, we've got to shallow the club here, we've got to fix the over the top. The one thing that happens when golfers are doing this, they're breaking the swing apart, but they're often missing a key component because what happens is, if we can make a good pivot motion on the way back, guess what? It's so much easier for the club to find the positions in a much more natural flowing way. And I can't stress how many lessons that we've given over the years that golfers are worrying about where the club is, and all we do is fix maybe a little bit of hip turn or a little bit of this torso turn, and the club just slots perfectly in the right place. So here's one of our favorite drills. So club on the ground like this at 90 degrees, just inside the right heel like this, club on the shoulders, in my golf posture. I'm just going to rotate, and when we rotate, I always want you to focus on rotating from the rib cage, the belt buckle to the buttons on the shirt. So you'll see when I do this, in my posture, I'm allowing this rotation, and as I do this, I'm feeling that this club gets over the other club. So you may just do this as a warm-up, but from here now, I'm really feeling that I'm engaging all the core. It's facing that camera there. The left shoulder's down, which means I'm staying in my posture. From this great pivot motion here, there's no sway, okay, which a lot of people struggle with. A lot of people have this little bit of a sway. So we're really encouraging a good rotation here. And when we do a good job of the rotation, the arms tend to actually follow. And for the majority of people, we create a little bit more space. And I think when we do this, when we focus on a great pivot motion, taking this feeling onto the golf course stops us trying to be perfect and trying to hit all the spots that we do. Great warm-up, great if you struggle with just actually making a good pivot motion. And then once you've done that a few times, just take that feeling to the golf swing. I guarantee you're not going to be worrying about positions there. Again, I'm not worried about trying to place the club there. that I guarantee will make a huge difference. Okay, the third drill is probably one of my favorite drills to help you improve your iron ball striking. And when we say that, we mean, how can we get this ball followed by the turf? Now, one thing that you must have in order to actually get this nice compression and ball turf is your low point, which is your lowest point of the arc, needs to be past the golf ball. We need to be able to hit the ground past the ball. Now, the majority of people who struggle with this, their low point is just too early, which means that the club's at its lowest point here, which means they either hit the ground first or they thin the ball, or even worse, top the golf ball. Now, before we get into the drill, which is one of my favorites, if this is helpful and you want to improve your game for next year, make sure you hit the subscribe and hit the bell to not miss a video. Two ways that you can do this. Just grab some chalk like this. We're just going to draw a line on the mat. Okay, so now we have a nice white line on there. Often golfers get so focused on technique. What I'm going to show you is a drill that takes out the technical thought and really it's going to improve your ball striking from an external focus. All I want you to do on the mat is, first of all, have some practice swings. We're not going to think about how we do it. We're just going to focus on seeing if we can hit the ground past the line. So backswing, and you'll see whether you do it. I know that was past here. Then you'll get the feeling. I can feel that I'm hitting that ground past that line. There's a great quote one of our mentors, Dr. Carl Morris, told us. He said, the body will organize movement when given a clear intention. I'm not focused on the body here, but my clear intention is to actually hit the ground past the line. That was well past. And play a game, see how far past you can get it, because if you're somebody who hits the ground here, you'll feel it. It just means you need to exaggerate that feeling of trying to hit it late. Once you've done a few of those, place the golf ball on the line and then just hit some shots with the same feeling. No real complex swing thoughts here. I'm just going to focus on hitting the ground past the golf ball. That was really compressed. You'll just see I nipped the line here, which is absolutely fine. If you can take some of this chalk line away and feel that it's there, that's going to make a big difference. You can also use the Me and My Golf ball striker towel, which you can just lay down on the mat. That's a really good way of doing it as well. Gives you feedback when you hit the towel. Okay, drill number 4 is all about the club face. Now, the club face has the most influence on where the ball starts. So if your ball starts right, guess what? Your club face is pointing right. Now, for the majority, not everyone, majority of golfers, this club face wants to be open. So just think about your ball flight and understand, does it generally start more right and drift, or does it start more left and drift? Because this is telling you really where the club face is at impact. Now, one thing that we've done a lot of, and I encourage you guys to do this, we film a lot of golfers' practice swings. And do you ever have a practice swing and you go, wow, that feels really easy? And then you come to do a golf swing with a ball there, and then you maybe swing over the top or you hang back and you go, well, what's the difference? The difference is your practice swing, you haven't got to coordinate the club face. So you could make a perfect downswing on plane, but if you leave that face 10 degrees open, it doesn't matter because there's no ball there. Now, when the ball gets in the way, the coordination kicks in, we have to compensate and make corrections. So one of the biggest things that you can do is, first of all, create awareness of the face. The best golfers in the world know intuitively where this face is, and they have great control at impact. So the challenge I want you to do, first of all, is film your practice swing from face on in slow-mo and see what's going on with the face. We do this all the time, and we'll see often it looks like this. That face is miles open through the golf ball. I want your practice swing to be square. I want the face to be square even in the practice swings, because if we practice that, we're going to get that. So here's the drill. Grab an impact bag. We have these available at meandmygolf.com, so make sure you check these out. Really simple. Let's say that you're somebody who is leaving the face open. You've slow-moed your golf swing, you can see. And what I want you to do is I want you to go toe in the bag. We talk about this a lot. I want the toe to win the race. If impact was the finish line, I want the toe to beat the heel there. This is going to develop more of an awareness of what's going on here. A lot of golfers are trying to fix this. Often it's due to the face wanting to be in a slightly open or closed position. So if you can train this, I guarantee the rest of your golf swing, in terms of whether you want to shift weight, whether you want to swing more from the inside, whether you want to hold on to some angles a little bit better, the face is a huge component of that. So training that, toe in the bag, toe wins the race, okay? Put that aside and then hit some shots. If you tend to lose it to the right, this shot now should be followed up by the ball working from right to left. So the toe's going to win the race on this one. Okay, that ball was a nice little draw. And if you're a slicer of the golf ball or a fader of the golf ball, you're not only going to hit it farther, you're also going to hit it way straighter. So one thing we hear golfers say a lot, and one thing that I've definitely struggled with in the past, is taking my range game to the golf course. Now the danger through the winter is that you're going to potentially practice more than you play, especially if you're in the colder climates. Now, there's two ways you can practice. There's block practice, which we've talked about, calibrating the setup, maybe working at some technical things. That's what we would call block practice. But then we've got random practice, which is really simulating how we play the game. So I highly recommend that you actually add in some random practice to your sessions, because what we don't want to do is block practice all winter, get to the golf course, and it doesn't transfer to the golf course. And we know if you can add that to the range sessions, when it comes to next season, that's going to be able to transfer to the golf course so much easier. So what does random practice look like? And maybe add this to the last part of the session, is to go, right, now I'm gonna take the sticks away. I'm now going to be focused on simulating how I play golf. Pick a target, go through your routine, okay, exactly what you do on the golf course, step back, picture the shot. What does a good shot look like? For instance, you may start off with this green flag, which is 112 yards. That's a 54 degree for me. As soon as you play that shot, great. You then switch to a different target and a different club. So let's say I go for the yellow flag there, 184 yards. That's a 6-iron for me. Do the same thing, go through your process, go through your routine, step behind the golf ball, and just vary the golf clubs. Make sure you don't hit the same one twice. Just randomize pulling different clubs out as if you're on the golf course. Hit some wedges, hit some long irons, hit some drivers, and I guarantee the very nature of you doing that, you'll be able to transfer that to the golf course. Come next season, you're going to be in a much stronger place with all these things combined. Now let us know in the comments if you have any questions about this or the rest of your game. And if you want more coaching from myself and Pierce, head over to meandmygolf.com. We'll put the links down in the description, and we'll see you next time.